howdy, folks. This is Ladi with Like-Minded Lunatics, and this is Ladi's Rockucation. This is where I learn about basically rock and roll music that is not my definition of rock and roll music. I listen to a little bit of different stuff. But we're here with Professor Mark, and he's going to be talking to us about...
We're going to take a look at Wolfgang Van Halen's song, Distance. So we have done a two-parter on Van Halen. We started in 1978 when Van Halen got their start with Van Halen, and we walked all the way up to Eddie Van Halen's passing away in 2020. So if you want to watch those episodes, you can do so like right over here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look, and I'll make sure I pull the lyrics up for you. We're going to take a look at Wolfgang Van Halen's song, Distance.
Okay.
So Wolfgang is Eddie's son. When Wolfgang was, I guess, around 16 or so, Eddie brought him into the band and replaced Michael Anthony, their bass player, with him. Now, what a lot of folks like me didn't know was that Eddie did that because he was coming out of recovery and he wanted his son with him on stage. And so he needed, it was his support group. It was his support group. And he's also playing with his kid.
Now, you said recovery from...
Alcoholism.
Not the cancer.
Not the cancer. It hadn't hit yet.
Okay.
And then he toured with, Wolfgang toured with Van Halen, playing bass. David Lee Roth, they went all over the world, and he was the bass player for Van Halen when it came back. Then Ed gets sick, and Wolfgang is working on his own album at the time. He's recording it at 5150, where Eddie recorded everything. And when Eddie got sick, Wolf stopped taking care of Dad. And then after Eddie passed away, he releases this first single. Now, this was technically written, parts of it, as Eddie was sick. But it was released after he passed. It's a tough one. I've reacted to it before, but I don't think telling Eddie's story without ending it with his son is right. So we're doing Distance. This is from 2020 is when this one came out, folks. And it's a heartbreaker. So here we go. Wolfgang Van Halen, Distance.
Let's go up to...
Yeah.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you.
Meet me up in the drum room.
We gotta clean up above the garage and build a little studio for you and me.
Yeah.
Or for you. Bye-bye.
Valley, we're in LA.
Yep.
I'm so happy you found a place that's better for you than this rock we're living on. I'm so nervous, don't know my place. A life without you, I'm not ready to move on. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay.
So I'll stop here for a second. Wolf is doing everything in the music.
Really?
Wolf's playing drums, he's playing bass, he's playing guitar, he's mixing it, and he's singing it. And he wrote all of these lyrics. And he's recording it in his dad's studio. And the thing that struck me about this when I saw it for the first time was that when I watched this, I was still mourning the loss of my childhood hero. He's mourning the loss of that and his dad. And it was just, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And the other thing that struck me is that all of these images are not of Eddie Van Halen, the revolutionary guitar player. They're of Wolf's dad.
Yeah.
Every image is of Dad, not that guy on stage, which it easily could have been. Hundreds of hours of footage of that. But it's just Dad.
distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay. Oh, yeah. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay. Oh, yeah. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay.
There's Dave. And fucking doing spinning back kicks as a 65-year-old man. Calm down, Dave!
You'll be okay. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay. I'm so happy. Found a place.
I'm just so happy to have you as my son, man. So proud of you. I love you so much. Call me if you get a chance. Just want to hear your voice. Okay? I love you. Bye.
You made me sad.
I said it would be hopeful, and I think that it is. At the beginning of this year, Wolfgang released his first album, Mammoth WVH.
That's a beautiful song.
Mammoth was the name that his dad originally wanted to call Van Halen. He didn't want to call it Van Halen. He wanted to call it Mammoth. So Wolf took that name.
Oh.
He released the album, and it may be one of the best rock and roll albums I've heard in like 10 years. We saw him in Emos about 6 months ago, and standing there watching Wolfgang in this tiny club, I had the same feeling of seeing Ed in that giant theater. It felt too small. And the funny thing about watching Wolf was that it almost seemed like one of our friends up there playing, as thankful and as cool as he was. And I can only imagine that's probably how his dad acted too. It was like, thank you guys for coming out. You guys want me to do this? You want me to do that? And then he would proceed to launch into some of the most impressive musical stuff that you've ever heard. And so while we lost Eddie, and man, it makes me fucking sad, at least his son's out there doing it.
Yeah.
So I know this Rockucation was sad, but without understanding this journey, God, I don't know that you can understand rock from 1978 forward. A lot of the quotes that I have pulled up are from people like Slash from Guns N' Roses and Joe Satriani. Slash, this is what he said about Eddie's passing. He said that when I first heard the Van Halen debut record, it really fucked me. That was a really heavy fucking record. That was the moment that the 70s just changed. As a guitar player, I was just a kid. I was just picking up the guitar at the time. I hadn't even started at the moment. And I started like the following year, but when I started getting into guitar playing, everybody was emulating Eddie Van Halen. They were all sort of focusing on the obvious techniques and the finger tapping and the harmonics and tremolo bar and all of these things that Eddie changed. But the way that he did it was such a part of his personality, and it was part of his melodic sensibility, that it had this really sort of musical fluidity that nobody after ever really came close to. And I think without understanding him, you couldn't understand that part of the music. So what did you think?
About what? The whole
series?
Thing.
This is the third.
This is beautiful. It's a beautiful story that you told me. It has its heroes and its villains, of which David Lee Roth is a villain. I'm sorry, I just don't care for him. But my God, this is probably one of the most beautiful songs I've heard in a long time. And of the stuff you've shown me, it's really amazing.
Yeah, and when I heard Distance, that was one of the first songs that I ever heard that really seemed to capture how it felt, having lost somebody. I'm happy that you're not hurting, but I don't know how I'm going to go on without you. And when I heard this song the first time, oh God, it destroyed me. I don't know how Wolf does it live. I honestly do not know how he is able to divorce himself from the lyrics of this. He said putting together this video, literally there are hundreds and hundreds of hours of his dad. And he let a videographer just have all of it. And was like, you do that part, I can't.
Yeah, how could you? There's no way.
And one of the last interviews not one of the last, but one of the interviews right after Eddie passed away that Wolf gave, he was with Howard Stern. And Wolf was talking about, obviously the legacy and all the hundreds and hours of unreleased footage that Eddie had in 5150 and just all that stuff. And Wolf kind of stopped for a second. He was like, I wish people would just give me a moment. I just lost my fucking dad. and Howard even stopped and was like, yep, we lost Eddie and you lost Eddie and Dad. So it was really moving. But I hope everybody enjoyed this one. It was a sad one at the end. But I feel like sometimes stories have to be at the end of them.
God. Well, stories end the way they end. And some stories end sad, not because that's the way you want them to end, because that's the story.
Well, and like I said, on the other side of this one, we have Wolfgang, who's out there and is a fantastic performer. And he looks like he's carried everything that his dad taught him and then some.
See that line in there that my memory of you slowly fades when I go on?
Yeah.
That's... I had a dream a long time ago, and it was a dream, and I woke up, and I can't remember what it was, but I knew that I was afraid of forgetting Chris, because that's what happens over time. Something happens, and you're thinking about someone all the time, and then you don't one day, and you feel bad.
Right.
And I don't know where it dawned on me, but I was obviously walking with my dog, because that's what I did all the time. It dawned on me that was okay, because it's like breathing. You don't forget to breathe. You just naturally do. So those memories, they're naturally ours. They're buried in here. And you don't have to actively remember someone for them to be part of your memory.
They're just there.
Yeah. Like breathing.
Just breathing.
I'm sorry. You made me sad.
No matter what the distance is, they'll be with you.
So sad.
Well, folks, let us know what you think about this one. Did we bum you out? I don't know if we did or not. I think if you look at the comments on YouTube, everybody is like this at the end of this video. So I hope you enjoyed this Rockucation. I've left you in tears, and I apologize for that. Let us know what you think in the comments, folks. Make sure you check out part 1 and part 2. We would really appreciate it.
Adios,
Take care of yourselves.
Bye.